Hello and welcome back to my channel. I started this video on I think Thursday or Friday, and I lost all of my footage from the very first day, which is so sad because I was really proud of that footage. I thought I actually did a good job at my speaking, and I already edited that portion of the video, but then I accidentally deleted the edited portion of the video from everywhere, and so I have no access to it at all, which is sad, but I'm just going to refilm it and it'll be okay. Today's video is finishing all of the books that I'm currently in the middle of. And so at the start of this video, I was in the middle of 6 books. As you can imagine, that is very, very stressful. I used to be someone who never read multiple books at the same time until I got the Kindle app. And when I got the Kindle app, I started reading multiple books because I would read my physical book and then also my Kindle book. And then I started listening to audiobooks, and so I would start reading 3 books at a time, which I feel like is not too much. Like 3 books is like the max amount of what I think you can do properly without getting confused. And usually for me, it's usually 3 different formats and 3 different genres as well, which makes it much easier to navigate which book you're reading and doesn't leave for confusion. Right now I'm in the middle of 6 books, which their genres kind of like go all over the place, but every time I go to read, I have no idea what book I want to read, and so that is a problem, and so we are going to fix that problem with this video. First, I'm going to share all of the books that I was in the middle of before starting this video, and I'm going to start with Just for the Summer, which this book has been floating around in all of my videos recently because this is my book of the month for my book club. My book club is me, my mom, and my sister, and we all just read the same book in a month, and then I hope at the end of the month that we'll get together and talk about the book together. Whenever I first started this challenge, I was at 80%, so I didn't have very much left anyway, and it was my first book that I wanted to tackle because I knew that I would be visiting my family soon, and so I wanted it to be done so I could finish doing all the book club things like getting questions ready and preparing all of my thoughts that I wanted to have for whenever we do meet together. So this was the first book that I wanted to make sure to tackle on my list. The second book that I had and was reading was Positively Penelope. And when I first started this book, I did not like it at all. I mean, it's not that I didn't like it at all. I was just struggling to get into it. This book is part of a series, and it's 3 books. So I read the first one, so I knew what to expect. And this series is almost entirely made up of emails and text messages, which is really different and not something that I thought that I would enjoy, but I really enjoyed it in the first book. But with the second book, not so much, and I was really struggling to get into this book. So I put this book in the challenge so that I could finish it. Stay tuned because there's a lot of thoughts about this book. The next book that I have is The Chronicles of Narnia, and if you know anything about this book, it is a set of 7 books, maybe 7 books, I think. I started reading this book last year, starting with The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then I got this book that has all of them in one to save money. I felt like it would be cheaper to just buy this one book than to buy the whole series. And so in this book, they actually have The Magician's Nephew as the first book of the series. As I've studied it a little bit more, I've heard a lot of people say that this actually is not the order that you should read them in. But I did The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then I read this book, and I kind of understand a little bit more after reading this book why people say to read it first, but at the same time, I haven't read all the rest of the books, so I can't wait to see what I think as I read them all. I was already almost done with this book whenever I started it. I actually got this whole set to read with my sister, Ariel. She's my youngest sister, and she's going to turn 10 really soon, and so I started reading The Magician's Nephew to her the last time I was at my family's house, and she was not enjoying it. And one thing about me is I am not going to force somebody to read something that they're not enjoying, because reading is supposed to be enjoyable, and she already doesn't really like reading much, and I'm trying to get her to like reading, so I'm not going to force her to read a book that she's not enjoying. I do think if she would have given it a chance, she would have liked it, but still, I'm not going to force her to read something that she's not enjoying, and I think it's easy to find something that she might enjoy from the get-go. And so I'm still on the search for that, but I really wish I would have read this series as a kid because I think I would have liked it a lot. Okay, so the next physical book I have is kind of similar with the Narnia series. This is, I think, 5 books in one, and it talks about all the females who are in Jesus's lineage. So the book that I'm currently reading was Rahab, but that is the second book in the book series. The last 2 books that I have are both on my iPad on the Kindle app, and they're both by Gabrielle Meyer actually. If you know anything about me, you know that I love Gabrielle Meyer and her Timeless series. That's how I was introduced to her, and so I picked up A Home for Her Baby. I borrowed it from Libby, so I do not have it anymore, so I'm not able to show you that, but I'll have it on the screen. And then the very last book that I have is a new series. I think this book came out February 4th, so earlier this year, and it is The Fur Trader's Lady. And I'm so excited for this series. I love Gabrielle Meyer's writing style, so I'm loving this book so far, and I'm loving Gabrielle Meyer. She's one of my favorite authors, and so I've been enjoying reading it, and I can't wait for the series to continue on. I can see it definitely becoming just as good as the Timeless series. But anyway, those are all of the books that I'm in the middle of. It looks like so much, I feel like. I actually cannot believe that I have this many books that I was in the middle of, because I am, like I said, usually not a person who reads multiple books at the same time. I find it really confusing. It really has played a part in my reading slump because I just don't know which book to choose. And I am a mood reader, so I like to pick different books based on what mood I'm in, but whenever there's this many options, it's really hard to know which one to choose. So I'm really glad that we're going to tackle this load of books, and now you can enjoy the rest of the video. Jazz? So good. Hello, it is Sunday, and I don't think I filmed anything yesterday, and I don't think I read anything yesterday, but the day before yesterday, Friday, I did end up finishing Just for the Summer, and I read a good chunk of Positively Penelope, and I'm really enjoying this book. I'm starting to understand a little bit better what's going on. I got a notification off Libby, I think yesterday, that one of my books are due soon, so I am currently reading A Home for Her Baby. This book is about a girl who is pregnant and has been running this like bed and breakfast, and she couldn't afford it anymore, so this former football player's mom gets him to buy it or something, but they used to be best friends, and she just lost her husband, who was a gambler and just wasn't the best husband, and so now she's pregnant, she's getting ready to have a baby, and she's still like running and managing the inn, but he is the one that owns it, and he lives there. So that's basically what's going on. My husband just came home from church, and he got me a hot chocolate and added caramel in it. Oh, but I also got a package, and I'm kind of curious to open it. This might be for a different video if it's what I think it might be. Okay, it's not. So I did end up getting another bookmark. I just like buying bookmarks because I always feel like I lose them. And then also if I'm in the middle of multiple books, it's easier if I have bookmarks to go with all of my books. This one's really cute. It has Winnie the Pooh on it and Piglet, I think, and it says it's so much more friendly with 2. And then I also got Throne of Glass. I'm hoping to start this series this year, and I'm really excited about it. This book doesn't look so daunting, but I know some of those other books are really thick, so we'll see. I did enjoy the ACOTAR series. I only read the first 3 books and the little novella. I hear a lot of people go in between which one's better with Throne of Glass and ACOTAR, but I'm going to try it. I'm not a fantasy girl if you know me, but I think I'm going to try to make a video out of it whenever I do go ahead and read this book. Yeah. It was good. I already drank it all. update. It is now 8 o'clock and I'm leaving on chapter 9. I thought I could finish this book tonight, but I am getting a little bit bored of it. So I am going to read something else for the rest of the night and to go to bed. But I'm trying to decide if I want to read one of these or the Narnia book. I just can't decide. I'm kind of leaning towards Narnia, but both of these books are pretty heavy to read. So I don't know how much fun I'll have reading these in bed. In the future and after I'm done with this video, I'm already in the middle of 5 books, so I don't care about switching around in them. But after I'm done with this video, I'm definitely going to try to stick with only, at the most, 3 books, an audio, an ebook, and a physical book, but only 3 at a time and only in those different categories. I'm going to try to do that. We'll see if that actually happens or not. I get really excited whenever I get a new book and can't wait to dive into it. And then once I get bored, I move on to the next thing and then I kind of forget about the last book. That's definitely something I'm trying to do better at, is not reading so many books at the same time. I really don't enjoy doing it. And I used to never do that. Anyway, I think I've decided on Narnia. I know the actual Narnia books are a little bit different. Like on Goodreads, for instance, The Magician's Nephew is like over 200 pages, but in my book it's only 107 pages. So the format is definitely different. And I also lost what page I'm on. Anyway, I'm going to read a little bit of this for the night, and then I'm probably going to go to sleep. And then once I wake up after I do my Bible time, I will go ahead and read some more. I'm going to try to devote tomorrow to reading. I do have things to do around the house, but after that's done, I don't really have plans. But then the rest of the week, I do have plans, like Tuesday through the weekend. I do have other things that I want to get done. So I'm hoping to devote tomorrow to reading. So anyway, I've been talking a while and I'm ready to get back into reading, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm feeling really tired. It's only 8 o'clock, like I said, but like reading in bed is one of my favorite things to do ever, and so I'm really excited to get some reading done. Time to read. First I have to figure out what page of this book I'm on. Oh, I do know. Because the book is 107 pages, for each page, I think of it as a percentage. Like 10% would be page 10, for instance. And so I actually do have it calculated in Goodreads, percent 58. I don't always update these frequently though, so I know I'm probably further than this, but I'm at least past page 58. So that is a little bit helpful. I'm actually on chapter 11, page 77. But I'm definitely enjoying these books. I was reading it to Ariel. I don't remember if I said this or not, and she just was not interested in it. And because it is my goal to make her like reading, I do not want to read things that she's not going to enjoy, and to make reading like forced where she's not enjoying the books. Because I mean, I feel like reading is for everyone. You just have to find what they like. My camera died. Oh, here we go. That's good, right? Too bright? I don't know. Anyway, and so I'm trying to find a book series or even just book period that she enjoys reading, because I feel like she does like reading. I feel like everyone can enjoy reading. You just have to find what you like. And I've read to Ariel a lot. I actually used to homeschool Ariel. I've always been her teacher since kindergarten, and we used to read together all the time, and she never hated it. Anyway, it is my goal in life to get her to like reading, and so I'm on the search for the book series that she likes, and I'm not going to force her to read something that she doesn't like. But I'm enjoying the Narnia series. I think it's very enjoyable, and I would have loved it myself as a kid, and I am excited to read it to my future children probably. Now that I've talked again for too long, I'm going to go ahead and read it. I know I only started this book and I said that I'm not going to talk again, but already seeing the parallels of the Chronicles of Narnia and the Bible, I knew that it was like an allegory of the Bible. I did not see that with the line The Witch in the Wardrobe so much, but I'm already seeing with this book because the Lion King, that's just what I'm going to call him, just created this world, literally just created it, and it's obviously perfect, you know, and then all of a sudden a witch comes and it's already bringing evil and destruction, you know. So I'm already seeing the parallels to the Bible, and I think I'm really going to enjoy this book. It is now 8:55 and I just finished The Magician's Nephew. I love that story. It was a little bit of a slow start, but definitely by the end I was starting to get the allegory and I really enjoyed it. And so for that reason I'm going to give it 4.5 stars. My favorite thing to do when I finish a book is to mark it on Goodreads. So I did finish that book, and so I'm just going to continue reading the book I was reading on my Kindle app, A Home for Her Baby. I'm going to continue reading that until I go to sleep for tonight, and then tomorrow I can hopefully maybe finish this challenge. Honestly, I only have a few more books left. I'm going to read this and go to sleep for tonight, and I'll see you in the morning. Good morning. It is the next day. So I've been reading A Home for Her Baby by Gabrielle Meyer. This book is due today. I'm on chapter 11, which is page 135 out of 208. I have not finished this book, but apparently it says that it has returned to the library. I was reading it on my phone, but I wanted to read it on my iPad because I kept getting distracted. But it seems like it's still on my Kindle app and I'm able to read it. So I'm going to continue reading this. I need to hurry this up because it is taking way too long. I'm just not really invested in the story and I don't really care. But it says I have 48 minutes left of the book, so I just need to read it as quickly as I can, get through it, and then I can move on to my next book to read. I finished reading A Home for Her Baby, and it was a sweet book. It was cute, but very short, and I feel like definitely missing some things to make the storyline a little bit better. But I did end up rating it 3 stars. It was pretty good. It was an enjoyable read. I didn't hate it the whole time, but at the same time it was hard to get into, and for that reason it's not a higher rating, but I did enjoy it. So I have 2 books left, Positively Penelope and the Rahab story of A Lineage of Grace, which is the females that are in Jesus's line. I think I'm going to read Positively Penelope first, and I'm pretty sure that won't take me very long to read either. I'm about halfway done with it and I'm really enjoying it now, and I'm finally understanding the flow a little bit better. My camera is almost full with storage, so I'm going to try to record as much as I can before it's too full, and then I will transfer things onto my laptop. But I don't feel like doing that right now, so I'm just going to try to record for these last few minutes that I have left on my camera. It's still the same day. I just look different because I took the shower and put on some nicer clothes after my workout today. I forgot to mention that I still do have Gabrielle Meyer's other book that I was in the middle of, The Fur Trader's Lady. I completely forgot about that book for some reason. But anyway, I am still reading Positively Penelope. I'm hoping to get at least deeper into it, if not finishing it. did want to say about this book, I really don't understand the whole plot, and I don't think I could properly tell you what this book is about because I just don't really know all the terms and stuff. But from what I'm gathering, Penelope is our main character here. She's in an internship position with the Gray family. There are, I think, 3 kids in this family. They're obviously adults, but 2 brothers and then a sister. So like there's 2 different brothers, and she is like kind of dating the one brother, but he totally seems like a jerk and not a good guy at all. She is completely oblivious to the fact that he is not being a good person. But then there's this other guy who, his name's Matt, and he has a daughter as well, and like Penelope and the daughter are getting along well, and like they're having tea parties, and she's introducing her to like princesses and stuff like that. And he is like, at first he is a grouchy man, which I love. A grouchy meets sunshine. I don't remember the trope name, but that trope, I love it. It is one of my favorites ever. And so she's kind of dating the other brother, I think Alex or Alec, I can't remember which one, but I really want her to be with Matt because even though he's like grouchy on the outside, he has such a good heart, and you can tell that he likes her. Anyway, I think there's something going on where somebody is stealing her ideas, but she's not sure if she's just making it up in her head or not. And I'm pretty sure it's Alec. Or Alex, I can't remember which one. And this isn't a spoiler because I don't know what happens. This is just my theory, but I'm pretty sure that it's him. I'm pretty sure he is not a good guy and that he's a jerk. He's already like stood her up twice. So like he's obviously not as good as Matt. So I am hoping she ends up with him. But anyway, I just forgot to say all that, but I'm going to get back into reading. I'm wanting this day to be the last day of the challenge so that tomorrow I can be completely focused on editing my video. I don't want to have to worry about trying to do all of that Wednesday and also trying to get all my reading done. And so I only have 3 more books. And I think I might have said 2 before, but I have 3 books. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get them all done today. I am in the middle of all of them, and one of them is a pretty small book. But I just haven't really felt like reading it for some reason. And then same with the other book I was reading, The Fur Trader's Lady. I feel like it's been so long since I've read it. I don't really feel like I'm in the mood to read it. I am in the mood to read Positively Penelope. I'm kind of invested into the characters a little bit more. I'm loving Penelope and Matt's relationship, and I really hope that they become a couple. I do not like his brother Alec at all, but I'm trying to keep this spoiler free, so I will not let you know what happens in the book, but I am enjoying it. I just finished Positively Penelope, and I can't believe it's over. I'm actually like sad that it's over, which I was not expecting when I first started this book because I honestly was not feeling it and was not liking it at the beginning. I was prepared this time that this book would be mostly text messages and emails because that's how the first book was, but I just didn't enjoy that writing style when I started this book. I liked it in the first book. It caught me off guard because I didn't know that's how the book was going to be, but I enjoyed it much more than I thought I would. But starting into this book knowing that's how it's going to be, I just was not enjoying it that much this time. But about halfway through the book, maybe before that, I can't exactly remember, it does go from the text messages and the emails, and it goes into like the third person writing style, which I personally love. Once that happens, I started liking the book a lot more and could not put it down. I feel like I can't say much without spoiling it, but like it just really is good, and I love the storytelling. You just have to read it to know what I'm talking about because I don't want to give spoilers. It is a very good book. I want to give it 5 stars, but I can't because of the slow beginning, but definitely a 4, maybe 4.25. I never give that rating and it's so random, but I am going to give it for this because it's not quite a 4.5, but giving it just a 4 just doesn't, I feel like, do it justice because it was really good. The only thing along with the slow beginning is that the ending was so abrupt. Like it happened and then the next page was acknowledgements and I was like, what? That's the end of the book? Like it was good, don't get me wrong, but it just, you could tell there wasn't closure there, and it is a series, so obviously the third book is where you get that closure, but it was honestly really good, like really good writing in that way, because it makes me immediately want to pick up the third book. I am really excited to read Luke's perspective in the next book. He's actually been my favorite character throughout this series. I love a grumpy guy, and that's how Luke is. I definitely recommend this series, especially for somebody who's looking for a clean book with no language, no cussing. Like, it's just a perfect young adult book. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. I want to post this video tomorrow, and I still have 2 books left to read. So I actually am going to end this video here. Like, that's the last book that I read, was Positively Penelope, because I am filming another video trying to find a 5-star video, which could be next week's video. It could not be. It just depends on how quickly I read books and when I find that 5-star. I honestly don't really want it to just end with the first book that I read, or even like the first few books. I want it to kind of drag out a little bit, so we'll see what happens with like next week's video, and maybe I just won't post next week. It just depends, because it is kind of hard to think of content in just a week's time to film and edit. I am reading The Fur Trader's Lady, and I never even talked about that much in this video, so it's okay for me to not finish it in this video, I feel like. And I will be talking about that book in the 5-star review video. The other book that I did not finish is The Lineage of Grace, the Rahab story. And I also feel like it's okay that I don't finish that book, because that's not a book that I necessarily have to finish before moving on to the next book. Like with Fur Trader's Lady, yes, I want to finish that book before I move on, because I don't want it to happen again where I'm in the middle of 7 books and it's really confusing. Yeah, so I'm going to finish that book next, but you will see all of that in my video, Finding a 5-star review. And when that video is posted, I'll try to remember to link it in the description and to have that video at the end so you can just easily click on it. But other than that, I feel really good about narrowing the books down to only 2 right now. I'm really happy to be done with Positively Penelope, and I'm so glad I ended up liking it, because I was scared there when I first started reading it that it was not going to be an enjoyable read. But the more I got into it, the more I read, the more I understood what was going on, and the more I liked it, and it made me so excited for the next book. I really liked The Magician's Nephew from the Chronicles of Narnia. I really liked that book. And what was the other book I read? Oh yeah, Just for the Summer, which I also enjoyed. I really enjoyed that book. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to film. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. You can leave down a comment for what other video ideas I should do in the future. And also hit the bell so you know exactly whenever I post a new video. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.